up?
We're here to talk a little bit about the snake pits that's coming up on the 8th of August at El Paso. Hell's Pass, as we like to call it. I'm here to address some of the issues that have been brought up by the players who came along, some of the players who didn't come along. First thing, Cobra, I want to ask you is, let's recap on the last event. Let's talk about how you feel your event went.
I think it went very well. A lot of teams showed up. How many teams showed up? Was it 12 teams? I think 12 teams. And I was especially happy that a lot of online players came in. They actually came out of that bubble of the online world and came actually to offline play, because I think it changes your perception of Tekken, especially if like with kind of old school players, we're kind of used to offline play, tournament play, casual play, that's fine. But with people who started off, let's say from Tekken 5 DR online, they've never really, like, it's hard for them, like, especially those who live far or those who just got into the game late. It was a good thing for them to come down and it really opened their eyes as to, you know, what real gameplay is like, what real offline playing is like. And it was good. Like, the atmosphere was great, and the music and stuff, you know, it was a good day.
I think there was a lot of experience built by a lot of the teams and how they came together.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you say were some of the highlights in terms of team performance? Like, who really stood out on that day?
For me, definitely, for my personal favorite was the Centurion team, because the Centurion team were actually, I don't know about Nemesis, but Lionel and Bull Rage are mostly for the most part online players, and I play them online from time to time. And I think this was their first real tournament. Like, it's the first time that they've actually come to a tournament offline and played, and they got to the semis. Like, they got to the final 3, and like with all, like, in the face of like all these players, like you had all these teams like Team Why Would You Do That, which was Masamoon, Chris, and Dinosaur. Like, that's a strong team. Like my team, Power Perception Punishment, which was me, Starscream, and Luna. I mean, that's another strong team. You had Team Old School, like the time, you know, the old school guys like Amraj and Wingdong and Chef. Like, that was a team that I thought was definitely favourite to win. But like the online team, like PvP people always diss online, you know, always diss online teams like, oh, you're all crap, you know, that they mash. But like, you know, Lionel, especially him, like, he took out heads. Like, he took out Chef's team by him, you know, by himself, you know, and that's no, you know, easy thing to do. Like, so definitely, you know, and he beat Starscream as well in an epic match. He almost beat me. So, you know, that's definitely a team to want to punch out for.
Well, definitely.
You know? Yeah.
Well, okay, so with that on note, we've learned a lot, you know, we had this was our first tournament.
Yeah.
What now, looking forward, what can we expect from the future snake pit, starting from the 8th of August? What are we going to do that is just going to make it 5 times as better?
It's going to be better organized, it's going to be better timing, like, you know, a few things, but definitely better organized, better run. We're going to have team captains now, because a problem with the last one is that there weren't enough actual PS3 cables to go around.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is that we've decided that every team should be appointed a captain. So that means that we communicate with them, so that it makes things easier, more to the point. And the captain of the team, he or she, is responsible for the team. So if the team doesn't have a PS3 cable, or we want to speak to their team, we go to him or her straight away, so that it cuts out any confusion or any long-winded, oh, can team A please come to the, no.
Yeah. Just
the captain of the Centurions, or the captain of this team, or the captain of G.I. Joe, or, you know. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a better organized thing, better music as well, the music in the pipeline. Guys, epic stuff, epic stuff. So just expect to see better, you know, and more teams as well.
Excellent. Sounds like it's going to be a really good event.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really enjoyed, and which surprised me when I turned out, was the range of skill levels that, you know, that was in attendance there. I had people that I've never seen before, never heard from before, and, you know, casual players, online players, hardcore tournament players, with a full range of you know, the full spectrum of every kind of player you could imagine. And what would you say to people who didn't turn up but are thinking, you know, like maybe I should come to this Tekken tournament and see what it's all about. Like, what should encourage them to come to this tournament?
I think the snakepit is a very unique ranking battle or league, as you would say, because the 3-on-3 thing hasn't really been pushed at all in Europe or even in the States. The only place where it's been pushed is in Korea with Tekken Crash, and that's doing really well. That's like the biggest Tekken thing that you can go to now. Like, you know, it's like, you know, it's Tekken Crash. But the Snake Pit brings a kind of unique feel because with the custom music and the atmosphere as well, like with a lot of Tekken tournaments as well, I just find, you know, it's no disrespect to anyone else who runs it, but I just feel it's a very generic thing. It's a very generic way of doing it, you know, though one-on-ones have been done to death. And I think with the 3-on-3s as well, it gives you better communication. If you work as a team, it's a new challenge in itself. Because you don't want to let your team down, you don't want to let your boys down or your girls down, or, you know, so you're going to play your hardest as well, and you've got support from your team as well, so that kind of pushes you on to kind of play. So the people who didn't come, like I would say, definitely come down to the next one. It's a really unique experience to come to as well. It's an enjoyable thing. You know, you enjoy yourselves, you know, you mingle, you know, see, you know, rhyming as well, you know, rapping or singing or whoever. It's just a little touch, you know, these little things, you know, while they don't necessarily affect the game that much, it's all these little things that count, that make it a unique experience, that make it the Snake Pit, you know. So definitely come down, and definitely come down for some lads as well, because the money match, just to touch on that a bit, the money match. Come on, I mean, do we even have to? I mean, the shenanigans that went on. I mean, you know, I really hate to say names, but Jay beat Zayd 5-1. Zayd immediately, you know, said the whole other thing, you know, and there was a whole commotion about this and blah 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 blah. So it's things like that. If you're actually in the place live at the time seeing that, it's the funniest thing ever. Like the atmosphere there was just too sick.
Yeah, exactly. And I know all about because I had the camera right in Jay's face.
Right.
Right?
So
and I was shouting out,
yeah,
take his money,
take his money, and
like the
double or nothing, and all this hype man stuff. Yeah, it was jokes. It was jokes.
While we're talking about the money match, there's been quite a lot of controversy about what's been going on now. I mean, you know, Zayd wanted a rematch, and Jay said no, and he kind of wanted to say yes. What about you know, 8th of August, next Snake Pit? What kind of money matches are we expecting?
Well, here's the situation so far. I mean, not to go on too much about that, but here's what goes on. Jay wanted to rematch Zayd again in the next pit for, I think, the same amount of like cash. But Lionel, as I said, who's part of the Centurion team, was there at the time. He saw Zayd and Jay play, and then he must have thought, look, come on, these guys, come on, man. Jay needs to fight a real player, like, or so he thought that, look, come on, Zayd is obviously originally a Street Fighter player, you know, like he needs to fight a real player, somebody who would challenge him. And you know, he obviously called Jay out on a forum, Neo Empire. Jay said no. You know, he asked again. You know, and Jay, from what it looks like, seems to be ducking him. You know, apparently Jay wants to play for pride because he says that Lionel is too much of a wild card. I don't know if that's the real reason, but if they do play, that's going to be a very interesting. You know, because Jay, obviously, since that last match, he calls himself the king of the pit, which I, you know, don't think he is. There's only one king in here, but yeah, he's going around telling himself as the king of the pit, and obviously Lionel feels, look, I don't think you're that, you know, great. So will Jay say, you know, yes, eventually, no, you know, nobody knows, but.
Well, one thing for certain, we're going to definitely see some interest in stuff. We just don't know what will happen yet, but yeah, what will happen. Anyways, Mr. Commander,
yes,
thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
Hoping this will encourage some people to come along.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.